I was coming home after work when I received a call on my cell phone. I answered the phone, and it was the police on the other end. I was told my husband had been injured in a fire. I was puzzled. My husband said he had a meeting with someone from work today. A fire? Where? It couldn't have been at home, could it? With that in mind, I rushed home and found the house safe and sound. I was relieved, but there was no time to calm down. I rushed to pick up my sons and left them with my friend. When I entered the hospital room, my husband was sleeping. His burns didn't look too bad for a fire. His doctor told me that it would heal in a few weeks. They said it was the broken bones that were the worst. My husband jumped from the second floor to escape the fire. The impact fractured his spinal cord, and there is a possibility that he will be permanently injured. After the doctor's explanation, I was on my way back to the hospital room. Then the nurse approached me. Oh, about his friend? She had made it to the next room? His friend? She? What do you mean? I was puzzled and asked the nurse who that woman was. She said that the person and my husband were in the same fire, and they were brought together. I asked my husband, Sean, where did the fire happen? I'm sorry. That's work related, so I can't tell you. I'd rather you go home and bring me a change of clothes. Huh? Why? Why? You're my wife. You're supposed to take care of me. I don't give a damn about it. You never take care of me or the kids, even when we are very sick. Don't expect me to take care of you. While my husband was talking about this kind of nonsense, the door to the hospital room opened. I was a little confused when someone I knew walked in. My name is Jane. My husband Sean and I have 2 sons, aged 3 and 5. I am 34 years old and have been working for the company I joined when I was 22 years old. My husband used to work for an IT company, but left about a year ago. He wanted to work in a more modern way. He left the company without consulting me, and we argued. I blamed him more for not consulting me about the income than for the fact that we're a family. He just told me not to worry, and that our income would increase. After he left the company, he started freelancing from home. At first, it seems to be going well, but then he started slacking off. He would stay up late at night playing video games in his workroom. When I would ask him when he was working, he always had no answer. I can't tell you about my job, even if it's a family member, as there are confidentiality issues. He just said that and wouldn't talk to me. In the beginning, his income was enough, but it has been dropping steadily. In the last 6 months, he only brings in about $1,000 a month. My husband is home at all time, but he does neither housework nor takes care of our sons. On the contrary, when kids caught a cold, he stayed out for a few days because he didn't want to catch a cold. When I got sick, I asked my husband to take care of our sons so I can go to the hospital. But he replied, "Why don't you just take the kids to the hospital?" and locked himself in his workroom. No income, no housework, no childcare. My husband doesn't even care about us. More than anything, I don't think he is a good father to the kids. So I thought about getting a divorce. However, my days are so busy that I can't prepare for the divorce yet. I was spending my days in a fog like that. Then, my husband, who was home most of the time, started staying out a lot, saying he had to run some errands. And he started carrying his cell phone with him at all times. I immediately noticed the change in my husband and suspected he was cheating on me. In the past, I would have been shocked if he was cheating on me, but at that time, I was hoping that he was cheating on me and that I would be able to get a divorce favorably. I tried to gather evidence of the affair, but my husband would not let go of his cell phone. I decided that it would be difficult to get evidence from his cell phone, so I gave up. So I thought about hiring a detective to prove it. But we have very little savings because we have been living on my income almost exclusively. I was wondering how to get evidence of the affair every day. I was so stressed out. Then came a turning point for me. I was coming home after work when I received a call from my cell phone. I answered the phone, and the person on the other end was the police, telling me that my husband had been injured in a fire. My husband said he had a meeting with someone from work today, but a fire? Where? It could have been a home, could it? With that in mind, I rushed home and found the house was safe and sound. I was relieved, but there was no time to calm down. I rushed to pick up my sons and left them with my friend. I went to the hospital and entered the room where my husband was sleeping. His burns didn't look too bad for a fire. While I was in a daze, a nurse came in. She said that the doctor would explain everything, and I left the room. The doctor said that my husband had a few burns, but they should heal in a few weeks. The worst part is the broken bones. He jumped down from the second floor to escape the fire. The doctor said that the impact fractured his spinal cord, and that there was a possibility that he would be permanently injured. When I was told that, my first thought was, shoot, I should have divorced him sooner. I know I sound like a cold person, but I couldn't even think about taking care of my husband. After the doctor's explanation, I was on my way back to the hospital room. Then, the nurse approached me. Oh, about his friend? She admitted to the next room. His friend? She? Oh, could she be? Can you tell me who it is, please? I asked the nurse. She was in the same fire as your husband? She was brought in with him. Could she be the woman my husband was having an affair with? I rushed back to the hospital room. My husband was already awake. Sean, where did the fire happen? Sorry. That's work related, so I can't tell you. I was convinced, by the way my husband was stammering, that the fire broke out while he was meeting the woman he was having an affair with. I'd rather you go home and get a change of clothes, would ya? Haha. Why? Why? You're my wife. You were supposed to take care of me. I don't give a damn about it. You never take care of me with the kids, even when we are very sick. Don't expect me to take care of you. While my husband was talking about this kind of nonsense, the door to the hospital room opened. The man who came in was Mr. Howard, the husband of my mom friend Amanda. I was a little confused to see someone I knew come in. It seemed Mr. Howard had seen me entering the hospital room and came to greet me. Yes, it was Amanda, one of my mom friends, who was admitted to the next hospital room. I looked at my husband in surprise, and his face turned completely pale. He looked away from me. So, that's what it is. My husband was having an affair with Amanda. I was speechless. Amanda was a good friend of mine ever since our kids started to go to the same kindergarten. She even came to our house with her kids. I introduced her to my husband at the time. So my husband must have known that she was my friend. I told Amanda that my husband had been cold lately and that I suspected him of cheating on me. She had a serious look on her face, nodding her head and listening to me. What the hell was she thinking? Was she going to figure out how much I knew about the affair? I suppressed my desire to beat my husband and Amanda up and questioned them right there. Instead, I greeted Mr. Howard. You must be Amanda's husband, right? Your wife has always been a great friend to me? Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I'm a little confused here. I just heard that your wife and my husband were in the same fire. My husband won't tell me where the fire happened, and... Do you know anything about this? Asked Mr. Howard. Then he glanced at my husband and said to me, So, your husband was also in the fire, right? My apology? The fire happened in my house. What? Really? Was that your house? I had no idea my husband was there. When I looked back at my husband, he hid under the covers. Well, Jane, I think I need to talk to you. Do you have a few minutes? Yes, I was gonna ask you the same. I had a pretty good idea of what Mr. Howard was going to talk about. We went to a cafe near the hospital. He told me that he was gathering evidence. One day, he had looked inside Amanda's cell phone and found something. There was a picture of her and my husband, looking like they were in love. Mr. Howard said that he had also asked the private detective to keep an eye on Amanda and collect the further photos of the affair. I also told Mr. Howard that I had suspected that my husband was cheating on me for a long time, and I had no idea who his affair partner was. When I told Mr. Howard that I was going to divorce my husband, he agreed to help me. 2 days later, Mr. Howard and I headed for the hospital together. My husband and Amanda were still in the next room to each other, but Amanda came to my husband's hospital room as if she thought nothing had been discovered. Thank God, Amanda. You look well. I came to see you the day before yesterday, but you were on the bed rest, so I couldn't talk to you. How do you feel? Are you alright? Yes, I'm okay. I broke my shoulder, so I have to rest for a while though. Yeah, that's tough. I hope it heals quickly. You'll need money from now on, right? Huh. Well, yeah, the kids are still small, so... That's right, you have to pay child support, right? Get well soon, Amanda. Good luck with the job hunting too. Amanda didn't know what I was talking about and was confused. Hey, what are you talking about? I hope you brought my change of clothes, did you? Of course, I didn't. What? You are really useless? Didn't I tell you the other day I wouldn't to take care of you anymore? I brought you this today. Saying that, I took the divorce papers out of my bag. Huh? Are you divorcing me? Are you abandoning your husband because I might be permanently injured? No, it wasn't because of the injury. The day you were taken to the hospital, you said you had a business meeting. Then, why were you at Amanda's house? That's because, well, you know, I only didn't tell you. Amanda is one of my business associates. We were discussing things at their house, and the fire happened. That's all. Are you that stupid that kind of excuse would work? I already know about the relationship between you and Amanda. No matter how many excuses you make, you'll just look ridiculous. My husband became upset and started to talk back at me. Shut your mouth. Don't make a fuss over just one affair. Besides, what are you going to do after the divorce? Can you raise 2 kids by yourself? Of course I can, and I will. I've been raising them by myself all this time. You've never been there. What? I've been playing with them? Yeah. Maybe a few hours every few months. I'm sure the neighborhood elementary school kids play with them more than you. But what about the money? You need my income, right? Or are you going to put our kids through a tough situation? Well, we'll be totally fine. Life will be much easier without you. Because I won't have any expenses to spend on you. But I have this injury, you know? So if it gets out that you left your husband who needs help, you're gonna ruin your reputation. Even if you're going to divorce me, you might as well do it after I'm fully recovered. No. I can't. I can't wait any longer. If anyone should take care of you, you have your girlfriend, haven't you? My husband looked at Amanda. After thinking for a moment, he seemed convinced. If you insist, I understand. I don't need a bitch like you anymore. I'll divorce you then. Hand me the documents. My husband reached out to grab the divorce papers. Stop it. I moved the papers away from him so he wouldn't take them. What? You said we want a divorce. We haven't discussed alimony and child support yet. Are you crazy? Are you gonna take money from an injured man? I need money for hospital bills, physical therapy. Well, good luck with your physical therapy. 'Cause you need to make some money and pay for the alimony. You don't even have any savings, remember? What? You don't have any savings? Amanda's voice came out in surprise. In response to my words, my husband stared at me with a look of disbelief on his face. You told me you had money. You said you were freelancing, so you were making a lot of money. Well, now, I just spend it as soon as it comes in. Money accumulates in no time. My husband was desperately trying to make excuses. In reality, his current income is less than $1,000 a month. I could have told Amanda right there, but I didn't want to get into their fight, so I kept quiet. Anyway, my husband agreed to divorce me. I've already decided on a lawyer to consult regarding alimony for the affair. I will ask the lawyer to send the content-certified letter later, with me saying that Mr. Howard and I left the hospital room. As soon as I got home, I prepared to move out. I went to thank my friend for taking care of my kids. I also told her that I was divorcing my husband because he had been unfaithful to me and that I was planning to move out. I didn't directly tell her that my husband's affair partner was Amanda. Several people already knew that my husband was in a fire at Amanda's house. Even if I hadn't told them, word would have spread. Later, as planned, I hired a lawyer and we proceeded with the divorce. Alimony and child support was hard to come by. At first, my husband said, I'm a freelancer, so I can work in bed even when I'm injured. I'm going to work all day because I have time. Maybe I'll make over $100,000 a year. Even if I get rich, I'm not going to take you back. So I had high hopes that my husband would pay me alimony and child support. But it seems my hopes of $100,000 were dashed sooner than I imagined. Rather, he started to refuse to pay alimony and child support. From asking for an extension of the payment deadline to ask me to reduce the amount. Finally, he called me directly. Don't you think $50,000 for alimony was too much? I think $5,000 is about right. I'm not saying that I can't make money, you know? If you want money so bad, tell it to the people who never offered me a job. I've told you 1,000 times. You need to talk to my lawyer about the alimony. Don't call me again. With that, I hang up the phone. And then the lawyer told my husband, that if the discussion goes on too long, we were going to divorce settlement. My husband was freaked out and accepted my terms. Things went smoothly from there. The divorce was finalized with alimony and child support, paid in one lump sum. The Howards also divorced, and Amanda didn't get custody of the children. After my sons and I moved closer to my parents' home, I heard from a mom friend that my ex-husband and Amanda remarried. Seems like they were living in the house where the fire happened. I heard that my ex-husband walks with a cane, and Amanda had shaggy hair and always looks gloomy. They say that the two look like an old couple, even though they were both still in their 30s. My ex-husband got into debt for alimony and child support. Amanda is owed child support for her 3 children. The two of them together must be in quite a bit of debt. But I don't feel sorry for them, because I reduced his bill to my husband quite a bit on the condition of a lump sum payment. I am happy to finally leave my ex-husband, but I am sorry for my 2 sons that they have to leave their father and friends so suddenly. At first, they were confused by the new place, but now they have made friends with the neighborhood kids and seems to be enjoying themselves. On holidays, my parents come to see them and play with them. For the first time in a long time, I have some alone time. I have more time, money, and energy than I did when I was with my ex-husband. Thanks to that, I can give more love to my boys than I ever did before. Thank you for watching till the end. Please subscribe to our channel if you like. See you in the next video.